But the reason why Kevin McCarthy, Mitch McConnell are going so hard on trying to thread the needle with Trump, like, oh, let it play out in the courts, let him do the legal recourse. They're not wanting to lose the enthusiasm of people like Raging Rob and the people that Alex Jones are firing up, because they're afraid they're going to lose the Senate races in Georgia without Trump at the top of the ticket to drive turnout. Because as we saw in 2018, Democrats are very motivated to vote against these fucks for good reason. But there was an enthusiasm gap. The Trump supporters were incredibly enthusiastic going into the election. And that's one of the reasons why you saw record turnout. Donald Trump won more votes than any other Republican president in history. It's insane. But they're afraid without him on the top of the ticket, there won't be the turnout that they need to win. And they're probably right. And they've started going after Raphael Warnock. And they've been promoting his arrest from 18 years ago. Now, he was arrested for obstruction of justice in relation to, how did they put it? Yeah, Loeffler aide Stephen Lawson said, what exactly was going on there? What was the nature of the child abuse? What was his involvement? Because apparently the case involved child abuse. Now, Warnock wasn't accused of abusing a child. That's pretty hardcore Republican domain. What happened was he got in the way of investigators that were trying to question a child without a lawyer present. This guy was protecting the rights of an American citizen. August 2002, Warnock was working at the Douglas Memorial Community Church in Baltimore when he and another minister were charged with obstructing a police investigation into suspected child abuse at a church-run camp in rural Carroll County, Maryland. He and the other minister were not suspects in the investigation, but were charged because authorities say they interrupted an interview of a counselor at Camp Farthest Out, an outreach ministry for inner city kids, and later tried to block a camper from talking to the police. Warnock told the newspaper he was only asserting that lawyers need to be present during the interviews. Now that is something a lot of people don't know. You can waive your right to a lawyer with the cops. You have to actually request a lawyer to have them present. And if like a underage kid doesn't know that and sits in there with the cops and the cops are all buddy nice to them, end up getting them to admit to shit that they didn't actually do. Like with the Central Park 5. Because cops are assholes, just like Republicans. I'm going to skip ahead here on my list, but I don't know where else this fits in, and I really want to talk about it. The Louisville Metro Police Department in Kentucky, the department that shot and killed Breonna Taylor, that murdered Breonna Taylor, hid almost 750,000 records documenting the sexual abuse of minors by Louisville police officers. 750,000 records of abuse by minors by Louisville police officers. And people wonder why they're out in the streets chanting defund the police. God damn. They're using taxpayer dollars to abuse children, cover it up. Where's the Save the Children people? I haven't seen one of those fucks post about this. I haven't even seen people talk about this story. I'm astounded. And it's shit like this that pisses me off more than anything. And then you've got assholes like Joe Manchin inside the Democratic Party that say, oh, messages like defund the police don't resonate. So here, Senator Joe Manchin, defund the police, defund my butt. I'm a proud West Virginia Democrat. We are the party of working men and women. We want to protect Americans' jobs and health care. We do not have some crazy socialist agenda, and we do not believe in defunding the police. I'm sorry, Joe Manchin. You believe in paying for them to abuse 750 fucking children? Now, AOC tweeted out this picture in response to it. Stare a hole in the back of his head. Slay, queen. I wasn't on the AOC bandwagon originally, but every day she proves to me how badass she is. And the Democratic Party is in full swing trying to attack her, Ilham Omar, Ariana Presley, Rashida Tlaib. But amazingly enough, Doug Jones agreed with her. Jones, the sole incumbent Democratic senator to lose, said both party campaign arms need to change their mission. He said Stacey Abrams' work in Georgia should be a model for the party's work in individual states, while he contends that the DSCC and the DCCC spend too much time investing in candidates and not the electorate. They don't invest in the districts. They don't invest in the party structure that would help them win. And the reason why is they don't care about winning. They want to be a controlled opposition. They want to funnel money into TV stations and consultants that do nothing for the party, that don't give us actual results. And that is why people are disillusioned with the Democratic Party. And that is why people like AOC need to take it the fuck over. They have a really good opportunity to deliver for the people by putting two specific people in positions that they were fucking tailor-made for. And that is Elizabeth Warren should be the Treasury Secretary and Bernie Sanders should be the Labor Secretary. That is a way that you deliver meaningful change to the people and start to restore faith in the Democratic Party. I don't think it's going to happen. If it does, it's because Bernie has such a strong apparatus that will indeed be able to put enough pressure on Joe Biden to get him to do it. I'm actually very encouraged by Senator Chuck Schumer, who is up for re-election in 2022, who's starting to sound more and more like a progressive. Why? Because he lives in New York. There's all these progressive groups that are constantly on his doorstep. That's the way you do it. You put pressure on them that they can see.